Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Forensics Lab. In this video, we are talking about how to prepare an after-dinner speech, sometimes called speech to entertain. ADS can be a little tricky to understand because people often assume the goal is simply to be funny. But a strong after-dinner speech is not just a comedy routine, it is a prepared platform speech that uses humor to develop a meaningful point. The goal is to make the audience laugh, but also to help them recognize, question, or understand something more clearly. In this video, we'll walk through 5 steps for preparing an after-dinner speech: understanding the event, choosing a topic, deciding on a structure, using humor strategically, and preparing for delivery. First, understand the purpose of the event. After-dinner speaking combines entertainment and substance. The speech should be funny, but it should also have a clear message underneath the humor. By the end of the speech, the audience should be able to answer the question, what was the point? That point might be informative, persuasive, or analytical. For example, a speaker might use humor to explain a strange cultural trend. They might use humor to argue that something should change, or they might use humor to analyze a pattern in media, politics, education, relationships, or public life. The humor is not separate from the argument. The humor is one of the ways the speaker develops the argument. Second, choose a topic with both comic potential and significance. A strong ADS topic should give you something funny to work with, but it should also matter. For example, a speech might explore how hustle culture turned millennials into burned-out productivity zombies, how online dating apps turned romance into DoorDash for emotional intimacy, or why Western cultures should get over themselves and start eating bugs for the planet. The topic should create opportunities for humor, but it should also point toward a larger insight. If the topic is funny but has no deeper point, it may feel like a stand-up routine. If the topic is serious but has no comic angle, it may work better as a traditional persuasive or informative speech. In ADS, you need both. Third, decide what structure fits your speech. After-dinner speeches can use different platform structures depending on the purpose of the speech. Some ADS speeches are informative in structure. They teach the audience about a social trend, new technological or scientific innovation, or overlooked phenomenon. Some ADS speeches are persuasive in structure. They argue that something should change and describe a problem and solution during the speech. Less frequently, ADS speeches may be analytical, similar to communication analysis. They might examine a cultural artifact, media pattern, or public discourse. So before writing, ask, am I mainly teaching, persuading, or analyzing? That answer will help you organize your speech. Even though ADS can take different forms, the speech would still need a clear introduction with an attention getter, thesis, and preview, a body with organized main points and transitions, and a conclusion that reaffirms your key takeaways and ends with impact. Fourth, use humor strategically. Different types of humor can do different jobs in the speech. Ask yourself, what does the audience need at this moment, and how can I use humor to achieve that goal? For example, using self-deprecating humor early in the speech could establish likability and a connection with the audience. If you're explaining a problem, humorous exaggeration could help reveal how absurd something is. During transitions, wordplay might keep the energy moving. Near the end, using a callback might help bring things full circle while also being memorable. A good ADS speech is not just a pile of jokes. The jokes should help develop the speech. It's also important to think about ethical humor. Be careful about who or what becomes the target of the joke. Strong humor often critiques systems, contradictions, institutions, public behaviors, or the speaker's own exaggerated persona. But avoid humor that relies on mocking peers or people who are already vulnerable. Fifth, prepare for delivery. Think about how you can intentionally use your voice, gestures, movement, and eye contact to support your content. Delivery is especially important in ADS because timing can affect whether humor lands. A strong joke can disappear if the speaker rushes through it, apologizes for it, or moves on before the audience has time to react. Practice pacing. Pause before or after key lines. Let the audience laugh if they laugh, but don't panic if they don't laugh. Keep going. As part of this, commit to your jokes. The audience can usually tell when a speaker feels embarrassed by their own jokes. However, don't perform every line at the same level of energy. ADS still needs contrast. Some moments can be playful, some can be more direct, some can become serious. That contrast allows the humor to make a point. A strong after-dinner speech does not ask you to choose between being funny and being thoughtful. Instead, it asks you to use humor as a way of thinking. Thanks for watching Open Forensics Lab.